Senators' work to balance the budget last session is now paying dividends. Minnesota Management and Budget's February forecast finds the state's projected deficit has been replaced with a surplus. And while that's something to celebrate, challenges remain. A looming deficit to a projected surplus in just a few months.
We now project to end fiscal years 26-27 with a surplus of $3.7 billion, which is $1.3 billion more than forecast in November. As a result, we're currently forecasting a $377 million positive balance in FY 28 and 29. The increased projected balance in both biennia is due to a slightly improved national economic outlook, which drives an increase in forecast revenues. Minnesota is in a strong financial position.
Minnesota Management and Budget says the state's budget and economic forecast is strong, but not exactly secure, with the federal government saying it will freeze funds until Minnesota fixes its fraud.
On January 6th, CMS indicated their intent to withhold $515 million per quarter from the state's MA reimbursement. That action is currently pending appeal, and the loss of federal funds is not reflected in our estimates today. We received additional notice from CMS that they would defer $260 million of our Medicaid reimbursements pending further information from the state to justify claims that they flagged. Federal funds are a very important piece of the state budget. Federal funds make up about 1 in every $3 spent by state agencies.
As we balance this budget, we're going to have to think about what kind of flexibility is going to be necessary for the administration if those cuts come.
Even without factoring in the uncertainty around federal funding, Minnesota legislators still have to face and fix the state's current spending patterns.
In total, we project that spending in the current biennium will be $68 million lower than our previous estimates, but the planning estimates have increased by $152 million since our last forecast.
Despite tremendous progress in the last legislative session, more work is needed to address the ongoing structural imbalance to align revenues and spending. The sooner we begin looking for additional ways to do that, the less likely we are to face a future fiscal cliff.
And not all of the February forecast's figures are favorable. Minnesotans are feeling financial strain.
We are observing some signs of consumer stress with higher delinquency rates in certain loans. Credit cards, auto loans, and student loans. Minnesota's unemployment rate has continued to increase over the past year.
Minnesotans are facing hard decisions because their costs are rising, but their wages are flat. And state leaders are going to face hard decisions.
We got to make sure that we are focusing on the needs of Minnesotans for affordability. That means tax conformity. That means making sure that we're lowering things such as tab fees for vehicles. That means that we're focusing on things that affect things like property taxes.
So while they may disagree on how we got here and how to solve the problem, legislators are committing to moving forward together.
We got to work together and making sure that we are focusing on Minnesotans and trimming down government spending in a way that helps out this state to make sure they can grow and prosper in ways that we haven't seen for a long time.
Last year, we made hard compromises to balance the budget. We did it together. Hard choices resulted in the forecast that we are experiencing today. And I really do hope that we find that spirit again.
If you'd like to watch Minnesota Management and Budget's February forecast in full, you can find that on our YouTube channel. That's at MN Senate Media.